Welcome back, all you New Japan heads, and thank you for tuning in to another G1 Climax edition of Chris Black's NJPW Report. I am your host, the natural Chris Black of the Saturday Night SlamCasters podcast, independent professional wrestler, and everybody's favorite narcissist. Woo, this tournament is winding down, and after today's review, there are only 2 more nights left before we crown a B-Block champion. These last shows have been real exciting, so I'm excited to get started. Let's get right to the action. We start the night out with some C-Block action with Yota Tsuji taking on Gabriel Kidd. After a hard lockup, this match starts out with a flurry of strikes. Kidd takes control, being extremely aggressive. And he needs to be, because he's in last place and needs a win in order to stay alive in this official C-Block. Tsuji hits the combo running senton and running splash. Beautiful moves. Tsuji puts on the stump puller, a painful looking submission, and then rolls back for a quick 2 count. Kidd is fighting like a man possessed, really working to earn the 2 points for a win. In the end, Kidd nails the Billy Robinson butterfly suplex and covers Tsuji for the 3 count in 7 minutes, 8 seconds. C-Block totals are as follows. We got Tsuji still stuck at 10 points, Umura at 9, and Gabriel Kidd also now at 9 points. So let's get into some B-Block action. We start off with Yoshi-Hashi taking on Zack Sabre Jr. And at this point, Yoshi is eliminated from winning the tournament, but his matches are still important as he could stop someone else's chances with a win tonight, or any of the other nights. Of course, Zack is looking cocky as shit, not seemingly concerned at all. Zack and Yoshi roll around with some good chain wrestling, with Yoshi holding his own. But it doesn't take long before Zack picks a body part and goes after the arm of Yoshi. Zack locks on the V1 armbar which looks really painful. Zack stays on the arm with a vice-like grip, switching holds, often kicking the arm between holds. Yoshi picks up the pace, is able to gain some control of the match, but that arm has been damaged, so Zack can turn things around very quickly. At the 10-minute mark, both guys get in each other's face and start exchanging blows. As long as Yoshi dictates the pace, he's in control of the match, but Zack is always one move away from locking you in a submission. And in the end, Zack tied up both arms and has him at his mercy, so he has no choice but to submit in 13 minutes, 34 seconds. Zack is still in the running, although his chances are still slim to me. In the next match, we have Yano taking on Kenta. We get some total match times just to give you some comparisons. So far, total in the tournament, Kenta has wrestled a grand total of 1 hour, 40 minutes, and 47 seconds. Yano, total time in this tournament, 37 minutes and 24 seconds. And his last match went 11 minutes. And on top of that, he still has more points than Kenta. He's wrestled maybe a third of the time. Anyway, the ref starts pulling out multiple rolls of tape from Yano's tights. We get some arguing about Kenta having a briefcase in the ring, so Yano grabs a chair. We get a little bit of comedy as Yano tries to get Kenta to drop the case. Kenta starts rolling in and out the ring to try to throw off Yano. Like always, again, I don't really like the cowardly tactics of Kenta. It's a slow, drawn-out start. Both men beat the count at 19. Finally, Yano chases Kenta to the outside and is ambushed, as to be expected. But Yano outsmarts him, throwing him into the barricade, hitting him with one of the turnbuckle pads, and then spraying him in the face with sanitizer. Back inside the ring, Yano is thrown into the exposed buckle twice. As the two fight over a bottle of sanitizer, the ref gets a face full and goes down. They begin to fight up the ramp with Kenta grabbing the briefcase. As they fight over it at the top, it becomes open and outspills rolls of tape. As the ref starts to count both men out, Yano's hands are tied to the entrance ramp, and Kenta runs back to the ring and wins by a countout in 8 minutes, 56 seconds. So Kenta beat Yano at his own game. In the next match I was looking forward to seeing, we get Juice Robinson challenging Sonata. And God, I really don't like Sonata's entrance gear. Forgive me, I keep saying that. Please change it after this G1 concludes. I don't expect Juice to win this match. If Sanada is going to win the B block, as I predicted, he will need 6 victories in a row, and he's going to have to beat Evil. This just isn't Juice's year to win the G1. We get a nice opening sequence between these two gentlemen. Sanada showing his speed and agility. Juice is being more aggressive in this match. After Sanada rolls out to gather himself, Juice uses the barricades to inflict more damage on Sanada, so it'll be harder for him to come to beat the count. Juice may have the strength advantage and is not letting up on Sanada. He puts Sanada on a defense early on in the match. Sanada counters the Juice box and puts Juice in the Paradise Lock. Sanada mounts some more offense, but Juice again puts a stop to the momentum, putting him back on the defense. Juice nails the superplex and newly named Joliet Jackhammer combo. Juice gets a little overconfident, not staying on top of Sanada, but playing to the crowd, setting up for some jabs. Sanada recovers and applies the Skull End. We get several reverses between the Skull End and a setup for the Pulp Friction. No matter what, Sanada keeps going back to the Skull End. He eventually gets Juice in the submission, puts him down on the ground with the hold locked on tight. When Sanada thinks he has Juice at his mercy, he quickly releases, scrambles to the top rope, hits a moonsault, and the ref counts to 3 in 15 minutes, 6 seconds. This makes 4 straight wins in a row for Sanada. His last 2 matches are going to be against Tanahashi and Evil, so he has his work cut out for him. In the next match, we get Tanahashi taking on Hiroki Goto, and this is the 12th meeting between these two. And I hear they were even young lions together, according to Kevin Kelly. Tana is 10-1-1 against Goto, so he normally wins. I really don't think these two have a chance of winning the block, so I just sat back and enjoyed the battle between two familiar opponents. Let's see, Bad Shoulder versus Bad Wheel. Which one of these guys will exploit the other's injuries? It's a nice opening. Right off the back, Tana seems to go right after the leg of Goto. Goto mounts a small offensive before some dragon leg screws bring him back down to the mat. Tanahashi tries for the clover leaf, but Goto scrambles to the ropes, catches Tana with a Ushigoroshi, but causes more harm to the already worked over knee. Tanahashi is up first. They begin exchanging strikes with ferocious intent. Goto landing a hard lariat, laying Tanahashi out. We are now at the 10-minute mark. They start to climb the ropes. Goto hits a super Ushigoroshi off the top rope, killing his own knee in the process. Crawls over for a 2 count. I think that last move may have done him in, as his leg is really compromised. But then he hits a reverse GTR and then a normal GTR for the pin in the win in 13 minutes, 37 seconds. This is a nice clean match between these two guys. Had Goto fighting from underneath to win in what I'll call an upset victory. Great match, guys. And in the main event, we have Tetsuya Naito taking on Evil. This is the rubber match between these two in this year alone, with Evil winning at the Dominion show and Naito winning at the Summer Struggle. Looking at match times for the tournament, we have Evil total match time of 1 hour, 28 minutes, and 1 second, with an average of 14 minutes, 40 seconds each match. Naito had a whopping 2 hours, 34 minutes, and 34 seconds, a match average of 25 minutes, 46 seconds. Just to give you some perspective, last year Okada held the average record of 21 minutes per match. So we get a basic opening spot, headlock, shoulder tackles, arm drags. Naito drop kicks Evil out the ring. Naito knows all of Evil's dirty tricks, so he turns his back to Evil and faces Togo on the outside, but then catches Evil when he tries to sneak attack from behind. We get a nice little bit of a shine, although it's not entirely clean, as Naito does a little bit of hair grabbing. Togo involves himself by tripping and dragging Naito out of the ring and throws him into the barricade. Evil has some evil intentions, pulling chairs from under the ring. He drop toe holds Naito onto the pile of chairs, then wraps a chair around his head and hits it with another chair. Again, I don't see how this move is performed safely, but he does it without killing people. Evil takes over the match, removes the turnbuckle padding, He works over the back and throws Naito right into the exposed buckle. Now, Naito does manage to mount a comeback, focusing on Evil's neck, softening him up for a Destino, hooks in a modified head scissors. Togo on the apron gets hit by a charging Evil as Naito sidesteps him, and Naito starts getting a little cocky, slapping Evil around to taunt him, but is cut off with a suplex. Evil sets up the superplex and nails it, slaps on the sharpshooter, punishing the back even more. Naito is able to get to the rope to break the hold. Evil has Naito fighting off defeat, throwing him sternum first into the exposed buckle. He delivers a devastating Darkness Falls for a close 2 count. Naito fires up and starts dropping elbows in the neck shoulder area. Dick Togo runs in just blatantly in the middle of the ring, gets taken out by Naito, but while the ref is distracted, getting Dick out of the ring, Evil low blows Naito. The match starts to pick up as they are setting up and reversing their finishing moves. And in the end, Naito goes for the Destinos, but is stopped, and Evil delivers Everything is Evil for the pin. He wins in dominant fashion, 23 minutes, 57 seconds. And I'm not even going to waste time. Obviously, my match of the night is Naito versus Evil. I'm absolutely loving this feud between these two guys. I'm actually thinking Evil may be the one who wins Block B and not Sonata. And with White expected to win Block A, we could see a battle for the Bullet Club leadership in the finals of the G1. Imagine that. But that'll do it for night 14. I want to thank you for tuning in. If you are enjoying my G1 Climax reviews, be sure to hit that subscribe button before you leave. Ring that notification bell so you are notified whenever new episodes are uploaded. You can also follow me on social media. Links are in the description for my Facebook page and Instagram. Go ahead and give me a follow, as long as the link to my Twitter page. While you're at it, won't you show some love to the Saturday Night SlamCasters? Links are also in the description to our podcast host site, our YouTube channel, our Facebook page, as well as our Facebook group, the Saturday Night SlamCasters Slam Board. I want to thank you again for checking out my channel. I will be back for night 15. Come get slammed.